Hello, extraordinaries, and welcome to another episode of the High Performance Consciousness Podcast. My name is Matthew Paddy, and today I will be your host for this super exciting episode. And it's super exciting because I've called it Your Greatest Experiment. And I'll explain more about that in just one moment. So if you've been listening to any or, hint, all of my podcasts, then you will start to string together a series of, knowledge, wisdoms that you can apply to all and every area of your life to upgrade your existing experience and wire yourself to your desired end, your preferred future, faster than ever before. So if you're new to this podcast, then welcome. What I'm going to discuss in this episode, titled Your Greatest Experiment, is just that. Quite often, and I apply this to myself first and foremost, that on our journey of entrepreneurship or our journey of creating the life that we desire, we often push so hard and forget to enjoy the process. We push and effort and try and grind towards experiencing an end that already exists if we only open our hearts and only open our eyes and our spiritual being, our spiritual selves, our consciousness to the potential that exists right now. And so as we push hard on the outside world, believing that the harder we push, the more results we're going to see, or the harder we push, the results that we desire to see are going to come faster, we in fact leave so much opportunity on the table, and in doing so, in this process, feel quite often overwhelmed or stressed, maybe anxious, maybe a little bit sort of underwhelmed as to what is expected of yourself and what is expected of life or your business by way of results. So this episode is called Your Greatest Experiment, because when we forget that this journey called life is really a game, we forget that this game is filled with experiments. So your business is a game. Your relationship is a game. Your finances are a game. Your health is a game. And I'm giving you, in all of these podcast episodes, the keys to that game, the rules to the game, the laws of the game. And these are not necessarily laws of man or woman, although sometimes they will appear that way, but they are the laws of the quantum field. They are quantum laws, universal laws. Now, when you think back to scripture, the word Lord, L-O-R-D, can be substituted for law, L-A-W. So when you believe in the Lord, not that this is a religious podcast at all in any way, non-denominational, it is you are believing in the law. And so when you believe in the law and you apply it to the self, then you reap the rewards. And so when we start to observe that the game of business, the game of life, is in fact a series of experiments to determine what works and what does not, and as far as what works and what does not, what leads us closer to the fulfillment of our desires and what moves us further away from our desires. And so in one of the previous episodes, I did talk about alignment. So you can have unconscious experiments where you are not conscious of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions on a day-to-day basis. And you will be in this agar dish in your own laboratory, your own game, and be unaware that you are experimenting. And so whatever you apply as ingredients to your experiment and the protocols, the formula for your experiment, will deem and determine the results that are returned to you from the field. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So what I want you to do, invite you to do, encourage you to do, as much as I do for myself on a moment-by-moment, day-by-day basis, is to consciously experiment, to use your conscious awareness to experiment with the field of potential, the infinite field of potential. Okay, so How do you apply all of what I've taught so far for your greatest experiment? Well, get clear on your end. What is that burning desire that you wish to experience, that you desire above all else, regardless of what area of life you're talking about? You must have a burning desire. And that burning desire is palpable in and of the heart. It can't be a burning desire driven from the head. It may start in the head, but it must finish and finally originate and be exhibited by the energy of the heart. So the burning desire is a very deep yearn to experience the fulfillment of an outcome or the fulfillment of a result. Okay? And quite often we will do this unconsciously because we desire to arrive at relief or stability, which I talk so much about in the entrepreneurial journey, how we're trying to get out of struggle and into relief, and out of relief into stability, and out of stability into freedom and momentum. And so when you can apply that, what you want as your end, your burning desire, and then you can use your imagination to create, outpicture exactly what it looks like, and make it tangible for your senses, make it tangible for your five senses. How does it look? How does it feel? How does it smell? How does it taste? How does it touch? All these sorts of things. And so for you to be clear on your end and use your imagination to build out the details of your end, and then enroll yourself through repetition so that you build a habit, enroll yourself in the repetitious thought, action, and feeling of that end already fulfilled within the body, then the spiritual sensation, as it has been called in earlier writings and teachings, is in fact the fifth dimensional, or the quantum aspect of you. So the fifth dimensional is the now. It operates beyond the concept and illusion of time-space, where in time-space there is a past, and there is a future, and there is a present. Everything exists simultaneously in the now, which means that what you give attention to and what you direct your energy towards by way of your imagination and your focus and your commitment, that exists entirely as a reality to be experienced right now. Okay? So your greatest experiment is to not effort in the outside world. Not effort in the outside world, to surrender effort, to surrender struggle, to surrender trying and grinding in the outside world. And so what does that look like? Let me help you here. Let's say for 28 days, you have a morning practice and an evening practice, which wires you to gratitude, wires you to the fulfillment, feeling what it would be like to have your desired end realized right now, doing those things for 28 days and being absolutely committed to building a new habit, to building a new reality, so that you are impressing the burning desire with your imagination and clear, focused intention upon the subconscious mind for 28 days. And when you go into the world during the day, you are not reactive to the world's facts. So the worlds of facts, of materiality, or the materialistic world. So what you see outside of you or perceive outside of you is unique to you. So if you looked at one object and I looked at the same object, we would see it very differently based on our perception, based on our belief, and the construction and wiring of our biology and neurology and our systems, i.e. our operating system. So when you move into the outside world and you go to work, or you're doing family things, whatever it may be, do not get preoccupied with the outside world to the point where you are undermining the value and strength of and potency of your imagination and the frequency that you are feeding your subconscious mind. so that you go about your daily actions and to the best of your intentions without effort, through conscious choice and awareness, you make aligned decisions during the day. It may mean 1, 2, maximum 3 aligned decisions a day, rather than having this long list of things to do and believing that for you to get through that entire list would result in you moving closer to your desired end. That is false. What in fact occurs from a quantum perspective is that you are moved to the inevitable realization of your desired future by moving outside of time, by staying in the vibration, in the feeling, the sense, the identity of the person that you wish to become, and therefore what that person, that identity, is therefore experiencing in that new desired future. Got it? So your greatest experiment is the next 28 days, and I'd love your feedback on this. So if you are going to do this, then please send me an email, support@matthewpaddy.com, and let me know how you're getting on, because it does take focus, and focus does take commitment, and commitment and focus take practice, and practice requires repetition. So if you are only investing 1 day every couple of days, or 1 day a week, or you give it 3 or 4 days, and then the motivation, which is an external force, burns off and you give up, then you're not going to reap the rewards. So the emphasis here on your greatest experiment is to surrender effort, grind, trying, hustling, grinding in the outside world. Surrender that to the subconscious, which means surrendering it to the field of infinite potential. Because if you're doing your morning and evening routine and you have a burning desire, it must be a burning desire. It's not, oh, I'd like to have it. If I'd have that, that'd be really cool. But in 12 minutes or 24 hours, or maybe a couple of days, it burns off and it's replaced with something else. What you are really doing is you're addicted to change. You're addicted to stimulus, and invariably and deeply, subconsciously, your body is wired to become addicted to distraction. So it must be a burning desire. Now, for most people, not everyone, but most people worry about money, or they worry about their health, or they worry about their relationships, or the state of the world, or their children, whatever it may be. But in the top 2 to 3, it's always money. Doesn't matter how much revenue you generate or how little, it is one of the same. So when you think about what you desire, you are not desiring more clients or a better bank balance or to pay all your bills. You're desiring the experience of freedom and liberation enjoyed as a result of that desire being fulfilled. I hope that makes sense. So this is helping you to unwire all these neurological pathways and these biological addictions that are stored in our body as our subconscious mind for 28 days. It does take focus, it does take practice, and it does take commitment. So your greatest experiment is to withdraw from effort, and I've said this twice already, withdraw from effort in the outside world. If something feels really hard and you must push against it, push against the plasticity of the exterior world in an attempt to try and change the outside world by pushing, I'd like you to bring yourself, using awareness, to the point of presence and say, right, I'm pushing, I'm efforting, I'm trying. Let me take a step back and let me observe the feelings that I'm having in this moment of effort and try. Because quite often we'll find that we are addicted to stress, we're addicted to anxiety, we're addicted to frustration. And because we've trained our body and our body has trained our mind to believe that in order to get ahead, in order to succeed, in order to win or to be fulfilled, I must be stressed at a systemic level. I must experience a physiological symptom or sensation that is akin to stress and anxiety. And so that's where the amygdala starts to kick in, and we are using all the fight, flight, or flee principles from there. That is, number one, at a physiological level, going to keep weight on your physical body. Number two, it's going to change your appetite, and maybe you're going to direct your focus to sugary items or quick fix items. Maybe you're not going to be sleeping that well. Maybe you have broken sleep. Maybe you have deep sleep, but you wake up tired and uninspired about your day, almost like Groundhog Day. Okay, so if you can relate to this, your body is a very intelligent system, an organism that is giving you feedback constantly. So your greatest experiment is for 28 days to withdraw from effort and grind. So when you do your morning and evening routine, you are wiring yourself to your desired future in a higher potential that exists now, which means as you're wiring yourself to the electromagnetic signature of what it feels like to have already experienced your end, you are in fact upgrading your operating system, and you are elevating your consciousness to a new plane or a new octave, so that the quantum field then folds in around that new awareness and mirrors it, matches it. Okay? So I'd love your feedback on this. Any questions that you have, make sure you shoot them across to me. But it's not easy. It's really simple, but it's not easy. And it's not easy because you have spent so many days, years, decades potentially in the fight, flight, or flee response, in the unconscious, unintentional world of efforting and trying. Because when you sit and feel your way into a new point of creation using this experiment, then you will prove to yourself that you are the product and beneficiary of your conscious intentions. So it means that whatever is impressed upon the outside world from you will be returned and at a multiple, magnified. So if you do not see that which you desire currently in existence outside of you in your external world, don't stress, don't worry, don't be concerned by that, because understand the outside world is a reflection of your past thoughts, actions, and feelings, all coalescing and folding from a wave into a big gelatinous mass, the present moment, outside of you. So by changing your thoughts, actions, and feelings to be aligned with your burning desire, and using the power of your imagination to really express and detail out what that desired end feels like from your spiritual senses, then you are in fact changing your universe. You're changing your universe. And because your eyes will fail you, they will deceive you, you will go looking for proof of what you have done, and you will find proof based on your belief. So you'll find proof it's not working because I have a belief that nothing I seem to do works. It works for everyone else. So you will not see the proof that is available and represented as fact in your external world. In kind, and contrary, on the counterpoint to that, is if you believe that what you imagine and give attention and focus to repeatedly and consistently shows up in many and varied forms in your outside world, then you will see evidence of that as well. Okay? So you are a self-fulfilling prophecy, and you are a precognitive being, which means you will see your future before it manifests in the outside world. You see it through the eyes of the body. The body is the subconscious mind, and the subconscious is impressed by feeling, how you feel about something. I'm going to go into this in more detail in an upcoming episode because it is a real game changer, and I am giving some of my little secrets away because I want to help you. The next episode will talk or one of the upcoming episodes rather, will talk about spiritual sensation. It will talk about the energy body, and that you can invoke and direct the energy body to create a new reality and to bring that back to you, as it were, into your physical body now, in order to upgrade it so that you are in fact experiencing a new desired reality right now, as both energies coalesce and co-create. So I hope this has been an incredible episode for you. I've loved it. And just come back to me, support@matthewpaddy.com. Let me know your greatest experiment. Give attention and energy and imagination and focus and repetition to that for 28 days. And I look forward to hearing your results. All right. So from wherever you are, remember, dream a better dream. It's all you, baby. See you in the field.